Hey there, Ivy listeners. Thanks again for tuning into Sin's Workshop. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So, today we're going to be talking about Spindle, Splintered by Alexi Haro. If you listen to my review of Once and Future Witches, you already know I'm a huge fan of Haro's writing. Why I've not read her other books before continues to surprise me. Because, honestly, she's amazing. This story was amazing. It's 128 pages. It's small. It's a novella. And Mike Chen said it best. It's the multiverse of, fairy tales for Disney princesses. And it is, in a way. Like, that's so freaking accurate. Because it follows Zinnia Gray. She's celebrating her 21st birthday. That's her that's her life expectancy, her 21st birthday. And if you're familiar with the story of Sleeping Beauty, when she turns 21, she's going to prick her finger and go into slumber. What I also liked about this story was how, it really does subvert the reader's expectations. It really does subvert what you think is going to happen with the entire narrative, honestly. But that's what I really enjoyed about it. It takes apart that story of Sleeping Beauty, which, I don't know if you've read Sleeping Beauty, the original. It is dark. Just so you know, she gives birth to 2 kids before she ever wakes up. So, do with that knowledge what you will. Anyway, it's just one of those instances, it's one of those stories that it takes apart what Sleeping Beauty is at its core, and it reworks it, and it reimagines it. And that's what makes Spindle Splintered so powerful. And it highlights Haro's use for just language and words and storytelling, because again, 120 pages. That's not a lot. This is a novella. It's a short novel. And it's mind-blowing. It grips you. It grabs you in right from the beginning. When she says only dead girls or only dying girls are obsessed with this story of Sleeping Beauty. And it's just like, wow, what a way to start the story. Your main character is dying. And for her 21st birthday, her best friend sets her up at this abandoned tower almost and throws her a party, and she even gets a spindle, and Zinna pricks her finger, and then whoosh, she's sucked into a fairy tale and she saves a princess. And it's amazing because she doesn't just save the princess, she's like studying what it means to be a fairy tale. Like, what are those tropes? Okay, what are those fairy tale tropes? How can because she studied fairy tales, right? This is a character who's utilizing her knowledge and who's just like, let's take those tropes and let's flip them on their head. So it's like super metafiction if you think about it. It's like mind-blowing. I absolutely loved it, how she goes into this universe and she helps this princess, and she's like, okay, we're going to break your curse. We can't break my curse, but I can help you break yours. And in doing so, she opens up a doorway to 1,000 other Sleeping Beauty stories. And it's incredible to see them because in such a span, honestly, it's just a few paragraphs. It's just a few scenes. And you're seeing Zinna pull princess after princess after princess from each of these universes into this one to save the princess. You're just like, wow, you just saved 5 princesses who heard your call for help, who want to escape their fairy tales, and now they're helping you. And you've got sci-fi, you've got something that looks like medieval historical fiction, you've got more fantasy, you've got gothic, you've got punk. I mean, it looks really cool. And to me, it blew my mind. I'm just like, wow, I need to hear all these stories now. And that's what Haro did. She introduced you into this universe, into this multiverse, into the vast multitude of Sleeping Beauty stories that can be told and reworked and reimagined in a way that's going to subvert the sexism from the original, because let's face it, for her to give birth to 2 kids before even waking up is wrong on so many levels. I said it. I said what I said. And it's just so well done. You know, the pacing, the characterization, the fact that she's able to use her phone to communicate with her friend back in her universe, to be like, some of the multiverse, I got Spideyversed into a fairy tale, and her friend's like, what? And her friend is utilizing her knowledge of physics and theoretical physics and the multiverse in order to help her. And she's using her knowledge of fairy tales and dismantling them to do this. And it's just like, wow. Just wow. It was amazing. You know, I really do love a story that really gets you right from the beginning. And the silhouettes, it's silhouette artwork that's scattered throughout the storytelling, just black figures. I mean, it really did move with the story, and it added to the story as well. You're just like looking at these black images, these silhouette images of girls, of women, of fairy tale characters, and you're just like, what in the heck is going on? But it adds to the story, it adds to the atmosphere that Haro is creating, and I loved it 100%. I think she is really, really good with her storytelling. She's able to highlight a character's mindset and showcase this journey for them in such a short span of time. Some authors can't do that at all. But Haro, wow. I mean, and considering her last book was probably twice as long than this, you're seeing how she can weave a long story and also such a short, sweet story. And it just takes your breath away. And it opens a lot of room for discussion. And I see that as having taken a fairy tale course in college. I'm just like, wow, I really hope my fairy tale teacher knows of this book and picks it for class, because it totally deserves to be read. And it's one of those, it opens up the discussion, because it also does analyze fairy tales. It analyzes those fairy tale tropes without really being analytical. You're just kind of like lost in the story. You're with the character as she's trying to subvert the expectations of what this fairy tale wants. What does the fairy tale want? The fairy tale wants Sleeping Beauty to prick her finger and go to sleep. That is what the fairy tale is aching for, and it's reaching for. And then you also meet that wicked stepmother, or not the wicked fairy, to say the least. And it's just like so much happens in this 128 pages. So much happens, but it doesn't feel cluttered. It feels perfectly paced. The momentum is amazing. The structure of the storytelling, of the narrative, of the characterization, it's so well done. It moves, it keeps you at the edge of your seat. It keeps you engaged. It keeps you on this path to God, what's the word? I want to say unveiling, but that's not the word. It just keeps you on this path to really take apart the storytelling and to take apart fairy tales and really find a way. Our hero, she found a way to bring to life the empowerment by doing all that. Because it is incredibly feminist. It is a feminist read, 100%. But it's a feminist without it being overpowering. There's always that trope of a strong female character, has to be able to hold her own. A strong female character can be something else entirely. A strong female character can just be a girl who just wants to save her life, and doesn't fit into those kind of characteristics that kind of define what it means to be a strong female character. And I like that she's using her brains and her wiles and her determination to help another person and to help 5 other people, 4 or 5 other people. There's sci-fi, other princesses. But it's really, really well done. You know, it really is engaging, and I can't stress this enough. I love this book so much. I really, really did. It was really good. So, you know what? It's going to get 5 out of 5 stars, and I highly recommend it to everyone. If you love fairy tales, if you love taking apart fairy tales, if you love subverting fairy tale expectations, if you love LGBTQ reads, if you love feminist reads, if you like a multiverse of stories, because this is literally the multiverse of fairy tales, Mike Chen hit the nail on the head with that comparison. 100%. This is going to be the book for you. 100%. So, you know, highly recommend. 5 out of 5 stars. If you're going to go ahead and purchase the book, please remember to purchase from your local bookseller or online book retailer. If money is tight, please check out the book from your local library. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me by liking this podcast, subscribing to it, and sharing it with all your book-loving friends. Once again, Spindle Splintered by Alex E. Haro. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely 100% loved it. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. And as always, happy reading.